Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I feel blessed to stand on the shoulders of the two delegates before me. There are some subtle differences between HB 17 and Delegates Campbell and Griffin's bill, but I just want to speak to the concept here. And the concept is, I think, articulated quite well by Shakespeare. The play never changes, only the players. This is really a bill about equality of opportunity. It's about equality of access. And we've seen these throughout the course of history. This legislation would afford approximately 700, not that many, estimated homeschool children the same opportunities to participate in extracurricular activities as their peers. And I've heard an argument that they should attend the school, but that's intellectually dishonest because, as Ms. Campbell discussed, Delegate Campbell discussed, virtual Virginia students can avail themselves of these opportunities already. So this really becomes a question of, do we support the equality of opportunity for all of our students across the Commonwealth of Virginia? And if we don't, that's okay. I think we should be honest. We just don't think these kids deserve the same chances as these kids. Because ultimately to say, well, we wish that these kids would just come back to the school is great, but the decision's not in the hands of the kids. I have children, 24, 21, and 6, and at no point did I ask them where they wanted to attend school until it came time for college, right? And my older two girls attended a combination of private school when they were very young and public school when they got older. But they shouldn't be punished if I chose to homeschool them. So this is truly, at its core, about equality of access. It's about equality of opportunity. It's a question of whether you think that boys and girls in Virginia whose parents might make different decisions than you would should have the same opportunities as your kids. Thank you.
Thank you. And now let's open it up for questions from the committee. Does any committee member have a question for one of the patrons? Hearing none, all right, let's have some testimony. All those who are here in favor of these bills, please, let's hear from you now. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the subcommittee. My name is Steve Rossi. I represent the Family Foundation of Virginia, and we support the concept of homeschoolers being able to play public school sports. A lot of y'all have heard of the bill for years, and some of y'all are newer, so I don't know where to draw the line on how much information to give, but I would like to make a few points. Number one, for years, the opposition has stated the sky will fall, the earth will quake, all these things will happen if we allow this bill. But 30 plus states, I think it's 35, but 33, 34, 35 states already do this. It can be done. There's no problems. No problems have been reported. You know, it's called the Tebow bill for a reason. Tim Tebow was a homeschool student in Florida and became a Heisman Trophy winner in college because he was able to play for his local public school football team. So 35 states do this, no problems. Another aspect of this that might not come to mind is the military families love this because they get transferred a lot. And when they go to another base or another naval station, often it's not convenient for them. It's a big hassle to get them with all the other things going on to enroll their child in a public school. So they homeschool because they get transferred so frequently. So being able to play public school sports is a great way for them to get acclimated into the community and to make new friends and all that. So I know in Virginia, we have this proud policy of wanting to make Virginia the most military-friendly state in the country. This would be another addition to that. And also notably, I can end on this, I think this speaks volumes, not that I'm speaking for them, but it is a fact. The Virginia School Board Association for years vehemently opposed this, but over the last 2 years, they've dropped their opposition. So I think that says a lot. I think this shows that people in Virginia want this, they accept it. And also, this is also a two-way street. We talk about this being beneficial to the homeschoolers. A lot of public schools are losing enrollment, and they can't even field some teams. So we have kids who are looking to play sports, other kids who are looking to play sports on the other side of the equation. Neither one can do it, but if you bring them together, now we have students who can participate in sports where otherwise they wouldn't. So those are all some factors I think people should take into consideration. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your testimony. Anyone else here in person in favor? All right, can we have those in person opposed please come to the podium?
Madam Chair, Tom Smith, Superintendent's Association. I think this is my 13th or 14th year here, and I think every year we've come up and talked about this bill. We've had a long time standing opposition to this. I think the delegate even made a comment about that Virtual Virginia has expanded, so many students who are not able to come to the school can take courses. But the one thing they have to do is enroll. And one of the things that the homeschoolers don't want to do as part of this problem is enroll. And so we would ask that you not move this bill, these bills forward. Thank you.
Madam Chairman, members of the committee, Jay Deck with the Virginia Education Association. We oppose all three bills. I, too, have been here for a very long time, over 30 years, and it seems like this bill keeps coming up. What I would say to those who are for this bill is, as a parent, and I know because I am a parent, as a parent, you have to make tough decisions. So if you want your child to play scholastic sports, then you enroll them in the public schools. If you don't, then you stay at home. Thank you.
Any other in-person opposition? All right, now I want to move online. We had a few people signed up, but I'm not sure if they're there. Okay, all right. We do not have anyone in our virtual queue. I want to open it up again for questions from the committee members. All right, Delegate Green.
Madam Chair, a term was tossed around and said enroll. Is there some sort of liability protection that by enrolling a student in the school system that it would offer? Because I'm struggling to see a reason why these kids couldn't participate in activities and extracurricular activities unless there was some liability, which we talked about enrolling.
Madam Chair, a very
Yes.
polite point of order. We have a lot of new members, and so if you're speaking to the bill, we can speak to the bill. If we're asking a question of council, we can ask a question of council, or if it's of one of the patrons, then we would just direct wherever our comments are going.
My question would be to council, does enrolling in a school district afford liability protection to the school district?
Thank you, Delegate and Madam Chair. I think the issue with enrollment has less to do with liability and more to do with the VHSL rules regarding participation in interscholastic programs. They do have a rule that requires the student to be enrolled in and passing 5 classes. So I think that's where the issue of enrollment comes up.
Thank you.
Any other questions from members of the committee? Oh, Delegate Coiner.
Madam Chair, speaking to the bills.
Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this is my 5th time seeing this bill or a similar fashion bill, and I've never spoken to the bill as it's come before us every year, but I end up with a lot of emails after this vote happens every year, because some bills that come before us end up being party line vote bills, right? One side of the aisle votes one way and one side votes the other. And oftentimes, sometimes, there's a few of us who don't vote with our tribe, as we would speak, right? And I always end up not with my tribe on this issue. And after listening to 5 years of testimony on it, I would like to share my perspective as a former school board member, but really more importantly, why I fall where I do on this issue comes from being a parent of kids who were in a Title I elementary school for their entire public school career. You know, if you asked VHSL coaches what's the most important thing, they would say winning, right? You want the absolute best team because you want to be state champion. That's the goal. If you asked our coaches, they want to win. You know, if you looked at how I think allowing recruitment of other students into our schools, if I were the coach, I'd recruit the absolute best people for my team. It's why in some of our school divisions that have specialty centers within high schools, there are a heck of a lot of football players who are engineers. And they get to move anywhere they want in the county to go to a certain high school to play football. But, you know, the reason I consistently vote against this bill is because what I know about homeschool students is that they have parents at home who care about them and care about their education and support them. And what I know about a whole lot of students who are in our public schools, they don't have the supports around them, and that oftentimes a coach in a sport is the only positive relationship that they have, and it's what keeps them going to school, it's what keeps them getting good grades, and it helps set them up for success. And so, you know, in my community, I look at the gun violence that's prevalent in my city, I look at the gang activity that's been prevalent in my city, and I look at especially the young men in my city, and but for playing on the basketball team and but for playing on the football team, they would not get up every morning and come to school. And so I wanted to explain. I know oftentimes I'm going to get a bunch of emails anyways. I was hoping this might help with some of that. But, you know, my perspective is about sports in our public schools is about relationship building with our students and not always about winning for me. So that is why my vote will continue to be a no on this, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you, Delegate Coiner. Anyone else wish to speak on this? This committee operates on motions.
Madam Chair,
Delegate Bowling.
I make the motion to lay HB 65 gently on the table.
The motion has been made. Oh, okay. Well, 17's on the board.
I amend my motion to HB 17.
Is there a second? Second. Okay. Delegate Bowling moves to gently lay HB 17 on the table. It has been properly seconded. The motion to lay on the table is not debatable. So, Madam Clerk, you may open the vote.
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes.
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay. All right, you may close the roll. And the motion passes 5-2.
Thank you, Madam Chair.